Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't want to lose out as a husband or as a wife, most especially if you don't want your children to lose out in that marriage that marriage that you're about to enter, then this video is for you. Ever wondered why people like Priscy and other celebrities are engaging in different types of wedding? And some people target spending of money. Let me tell you, there are legal benefits to that wedding that you see them doing up and down. They'll go do traditional marriage, civil wedding, then go to church wedding, and come around and now do celebration. Guys, this information is very, very important for you, especially as a married woman, married man, and you're about to get married, or even after being divorced. The benefit of these marriages I'm about to explain to you from the legal aspect. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Priscilla Ojo did her wedding, her traditional wedding in Tanzania, and also her civil wedding in Tanzania, and more weddings to go here in Nigeria. And Priscilla Ojo is not the only celebrity that's ever done that. Look at Moses Bliss, look at so many of them. They engage in all this type of wedding. Now, I'm going to explain this type of wedding one after the other to you, and also tell the importance of doing this wedding, and also to tell you the one that you can even minus to rest your head and to reduce spending, and at the end of the day you have achieved the same goal, because all these things, they make it so big, so compounded, that a normal man out there that cannot afford that kind of luxury will be like, "Oh, I'm not ready to marry." Why, inside his heart or her heart, they are ready to marry, but the money aspect of it is making them not to. Legally, there are basically three places where you can conduct your marriage and it will be recognized as a legal marriage here in Nigeria. You can go to the marriage registrar, that is one we call civil marriage, and ceremonize yourself, ceremonize your marriage. You can go to the church, the one we call church marriage, and or white wedding. Some people call it white wedding. Then you can host your wedding in any venue, any place of your choice. These are different venues you can hold your church, and it will still, you can hold your marriage, you can ceremonize your marriage, and it will still be valid. Now, there are different types of marriage that when you indulge in, different one have different advantages and disadvantages. For example, engaging only in traditional marriage. When it comes to traditional marriage, is you marrying your wife according to the rights and tradition and culture of their place. That is called traditional marriage. Now, that one has its own advantage. Its advantage is for those of you that want to be polygamous in nature. That is the advantage. You want to marry more wives, or you're not sure you want to marry more wives, you want to leave the space open in case you want to marry more wives. The best option for you is to engage only in traditional marriage. That means marrying your first wife under the traditional law, under the customary laws of that place. That way you can be able to get another wife for yourself in future without trouble. That is the advantage of that one. I think I'll be saying the advantage and disadvantage at the same time so that we will not get confused. Now, the disadvantage of traditional marriage is that when you are being bound, or when you marry your wife only through the customary law, that is traditional marriage, you are bound by the traditional laws when you die or when you want to share your properties, except when you write a will. So what does it mean? If you marry your wife under the traditional marriage, under the customary laws only, if in your demise anything happens, and unfortunately for you, you do not write your will, your properties and everything will be shared according to your custom and tradition. And and unfortunately, if your tradition is the one that excludes women from inheritance, that is where your wife, that is where your children, your female children now suffer, because nothing is going to them. And especially if your male child is even small, that is when you hear the cases of, oh, he married, he died, and they chased the wife away because the man that died doesn't have a son. And in some cases, the person might even have a son, but the son is tiny. They will chase the wife away. And that is the tradition of their place, because they don't have anything for your female children. So in this case, we are bound only on traditional. Just know you're living with the future of your children in the hands of your customs and traditions. So if your customs and traditions are not that wonderful, the best you can do for yourself is to write the will. Let's move on to the second type of marriage that you engage in and you'll be happy, or you also not be happy. The second one is what we call statutory marriage. When it comes to statutory marriage, you going to a church to do your wedding can also be categorized under statutory marriage. Like, let me break the English down. Statutory marriage means marriage where you and your spouse are being subject under the law, like the marriage is subject under the law, is a legal marriage, is a legally recognized marriage under the law. Is that marriage that when you do, you can be able to use the certificate for traveling where everywhere you want to go. You are officially recognized by law that you're married. Not like you're not be recognized by law. Obviously, you're recognized by customary law that you're married if you did only traditional marriage. So under statutory marriage, you can go for civil wedding, the one we call court wedding, and under statutory marriage, you can also go for church wedding. Now, there's this thing with church wedding. When if you do a church wedding and you are so unfortunate that your church that you did the wedding is not licensed under the law to conduct marriage, just know that you just did marriage celebration. It's not a valid marriage in the eyes of law. A valid marriage, a valid legal statutory marriage in the eyes of law stipulate that the church must be licensed to conduct such marriage, and also the officiating minister of that church should also be licensed to officiate in that church. So if the pastor in that church is not ordained to officiate, for example, in let's use Anglican church for example, and the reverend father that is officiating the marriage for you is not recognized as the reverend father in the Anglican church, that marriage is still invalid. So you have to make sure that the church, that is why most you are secured if you are doing your wedding in Catholic and Anglican church, because those are the prominent churches that we know that register their churches. They have the license to officiate your marriage. So that is the two things you have to make sure about church wedding. That way it can be legal marriage, legal recognized marriage. Then another way of being guided or being under statutory marriage is the one we call court marriage. You can call it civil marriage. What does that one mean? It means you going into a marriage registrar in the high court and solemnize your marriage, go there to his office, to her office, and they will also solemnize the marriage. Now, in some cases, some people call out or some people officiate their wedding in a different environment. Three places you can do your marriage solemnization. You can do it in the church, you can do it anywhere of your church, any venue of your choice, and you can also do it in the marriage registrar's office. This third one, venue of your church, you need a special license for you to do your marriage, celebration marriage in any location of your choice. You see people do their marriage at the beach, people do their marriage in their parlor, people do that. They got a very special license for them to be able to do that, so that your marriage will be, yeah, the rich do that. The rich do that. Most of the rich people don't go to, like, they don't call normal hall. You see them, man. They go to beachside, go to poolside. Some people do it in their luxurious home. So you get a license to do that, and some do it in the church, then or you go to marriage registrar's office. So these are the three venues where you can go and do your marriage. Venues, remember, venues, you can go and do your marriage and it should be recognized by law. The two types of marriage that I mentioned is statutory marriage and customary marriage, where you are being bound by customary law. The one advantage of this, or advantages of statutory marriage, is that even if you die intestate, like you die without writing a will, your children will not be left out, because the law of estate, the estate law of that your state will guide the distribution of your properties. And trust me, your properties will be distributed fairly to your children and your wife, and also so that people that law accommodate that the sharing of the property will be reached, or sharing of the property will accommodate. And now that is one big advantage. You're not leaving your fate, the fate of your children and your wife, to the cruel determination of your customary laws and customs. We all know that to some extent, some customs are somehow. Now, traditional marriage aside, or statutory marriage aside, another thing you can do for yourself and your children is don't die intestate. What I mean is, don't die without writing a will. It will save you a lot. Even if you have small today, write it down. And you have bigger tomorrow, you can go and alter it, the will, and include it there. Okay? Don't just leave the fate of your children, your wife, in the hands of, you know. Now, another topic that I would like to deal with on this channel is how you intend to lose your properties to your wife or your husband, what you will do if you don't want to eventually lose, because honey, darling, one day it might go sour, it might never go sour, but if it eventually goes sour, how you can secure your future as a woman, especially, and also as a woman. I think that will be my next topic. But if you want that video, please, I would like to know your opinion in the comment section. That is it, guys. If you have any question, please leave it. I believe I've touched all angles and made you clear on why some celebrities engage in different types of marriage. Now that you have understood the difference between customary law and statutory marriage, which one are you going to do? I'd like to know your opinion, the disadvantage and disadvantage. You have known them. I'd like to know your opinion in the comment section on the one that you want to do. You now know why these celebrities that are doing these different types of marriage. Thank you guys for watching. I believe you were able to make the right choice as a single guy or single girl that's about to get married. This information that you have heard today. Thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next one. And yes, for those of you that knows me on this channel, and I'm not coming to tell you guys law on this topic, you're wondering, yeah, I studied law if you want to know. Anyway, guys, see you in my next video. Bye.